Hello and welcome once again to Red Gaming Tech. My name is Amata. Today is the 17th of June and this time I'm bringing you some news from Sony, who have responded to questions as to whether or not the PS4 is actually going to follow the Xbox One suit with the backwards compatibility that was revealed at E3. And apparently the answer is no, and that comes from the head of PlayStation Europe, Jim Ryan, who said that they have no intention of following suit. Now, if you're wondering, well, why not? Microsoft came within a hair of winning just through that comment alone. I don't want to discuss that too much here. I'm going to be doing a separate video on who I think, quote-unquote, won. But it was still a huge move from Microsoft, so yeah. Anyway, when he spoke to MCV, this is what Jim had to say. Quote, it is an entirely legitimate approach, and you are seeking to upgrade 360 owners to Xbox One. It's a very logical approach to take. He then went on to comment that, well, the announcement wasn't very clear on how the feature would work. And he added, quote, I suspect there might be a few twists in that particular tale, but we shall see. He moved swiftly on from that to touch on how they're going to be investing in software updates such as, say, SharePlay, Play as you download, and of course, Suspend Resume. And he said, quote, unfortunately there are just not sufficient enough software engineers in the world for everyone to do everything. Each platform holder has to make their choices. We made one and they made another. Their choice is entirely legitimate, and I think our choice is legitimate too. In some ways it is quite nice to have points of difference between two platforms, and people will decide which approach suit them best. And then when directly addressing the backwards compatibility feature of consoles, he said, quote, we have experience of backwards compatibility. The earliest PS3 model was backwards compatible with PS2, and it is a much requested feature, but actually it's not so greatly used. On balance, we are happy with our approach and we don't wish to be defensive about it at all. But, as I say, both approaches are legitimate. Now the thing is, I don't agree that it's not going to be much used at all. The reaction from this has been huge, and to be honest, my reaction was, holy crap, that is a huge move. And there's a link in the description below this video, which basically says a little bit about how backwards compatibility is, of course, here for those in the preview program, or holiday for the rest of us. And they do say that they can't promise every title will be available. That would be insane. But they are working hard to make as many as possible available, and you can kind of vote for the ones you're most excited to play for. So if you want to throw in your voice, check out the link below, and you'll see that the top one, at least at the time of recording, is Red Dead Redemption with 21,412 votes. Now that is not what I would call a small number. Yes, it's small in comparison to the millions of Xbox One gamers or Xbox 360 gamers who might not even have an Xbox One because of the lack of backwards compatibility. It is still a large number of people, and the thing is, a lot of people don't even seem to be aware that this voting system is a thing. To be honest, before I started researching for this particular video, neither did I. So I just thought, you know what? I'll pop it in there, you guys can spread the word, and we can get a true idea of how much interest there actually is. I mean, if Sony were to say, yeah, we're going to do backwards compatibility with the PlayStation 3, that would be huge, to be honest. And then, you know, we've got all sorts of votes. I mean, even the slightly less popular ones like, I don't know, Fallout 3 is still 12,000 people. And yes, that's small in comparison to the number of people who play Xbox One or whatever. It's still not a small number. So I kind of have to disagree with Jim Ryan. If that's not the direction they want to take, it's their console, their choice, excuse me, fair enough. But saying that not many people use it, I disagree. To be honest, I have tons of Xbox 360 games, not so many Xbox One games, and I will be using this feature as soon as it becomes available, and I'll be curious to see how many of my games will actually work on launch. So, what do you think? I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.